You've been eating bread for years, but did you know that some of the loaves you buy are actually poisoning you? The bread that you thought was wholesome and delicious might be loaded with dangerous chemicals that are banned in Europe, Canada, and China. We're talking about ingredients that have been linked to cancer, ADHD in children, diabetes, and even lab animal toxicity. And the worst part, in the US, these ingredients are still perfectly legal. In the next minutes, I'm going to expose 12 bread brands you need to avoid at all costs and why. I'll break down what's really lurking inside these loaves, how it affects your body, and what you should be buying instead. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your bread the same way again. So drop a comment below with the brand you buy right now. Let's see how many of these make it onto the list. Let's kick things off with one of the most iconic brands in the US, Wonder Bread. It's the bread you grew up eating, the bread that promises to build strong bodies 12 ways. But what Wonder Bread doesn't tell you is that the loaf you're buying contains azodicarbonamide, a chemical used in yoga mats, industrial foams, and even shoe soles. This is the same chemical that, when heated during baking, breaks down into semicarbazide and urethane, both carcinogens. These substances are banned in Europe, Australia, and multiple other countries. But here in the US, the FDA allows up to 45 parts per million. Wonder Bread makes its dough easier and cheaper to handle by adding this chemical. But at what cost to your health? That soft, squishy bread you've been used to. That's not natural softness. It's the result of a process called Corrywood, where bread is made in just 3 hours instead of the typical 12 to 16. High-speed mixers beat air into the dough violently, destroying the natural gluten structure. That bloated feeling after eating a sandwich? Yeah, that's your stomach struggling with chemically accelerated bread. On top of that, Wonder Bread uses calcium propionate, a preservative linked to behavioral issues in children, like irritability, concentration difficulties, and even ADHD. It's been shown that removing this preservative can improve children's behavior. This bread isn't food. It's industrial foam held together with chemicals that are banned elsewhere. Next up, we have Nature's Own, with its wholesome packaging and promises of being natural. You'd think this would be a healthy choice. But flip over the bag, and you'll find diacetyl, tartaric acid, esters, datum, mono, and diglycerides, and high fructose corn syrup. These synthetic chemicals hide behind a green label. Mono and diglycerides are emulsifiers that disrupt your gut bacteria, which are crucial for digestion, immune function, and even mental health. Studies have linked emulsifiers to inflammatory bowel disease, metabolic syndrome, and leaky gut. So, while you might be feeling all earthy and organic, your gut is silently screaming for help. But it gets worse. Nature's Own also contains high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, which adds unwanted sweetness and contributes to fatty liver disease, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. HFCS is banned or heavily restricted in many countries, but it's still lurking in this supposedly natural loaf. You know that irresistible softness of Sara Lee bread. That's not from careful baking, it's from chemicals. Sara Lee perfected its reputation by making a loaf that practically falls apart when you touch it. But this softness comes from industrial processing, not quality ingredients. High-speed mixers destroy the natural gluten structure, making it harder for your digestive system to break it down. To compensate, Sara Lee loads the bread with soybean oil, which is highly inflammatory and can contribute to chronic diseases like arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes. Soybean oil also brings with it omega-6 fatty acids, which are essential for your body in the right balance. But the typical American diet is way too high in omega-6 and way too low in omega-3, which creates chronic inflammation, the silent killer that leads to cancer, Alzheimer's, and cardiovascular disease. Pepperidge Farm positions itself as a premium bread brand, but the reality is far from premium. The premium price tag is a marketing tactic. The ingredients are nearly identical to what you find in lower-end breads. Inside your Pepperidge Farm farmhouse white bread, you'll find enriched wheat flour, sugar, soybean oil, and calcium propionate, the same harmful ingredients found in budget brands. They also use caramel coloring, which is created from processed sugars and can contain MEI, a chemical compound that may increase cancer risk. This brand is charging you extra for fancy packaging and nostalgic vibes. But you're getting the same cheap ingredients that lead to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and digestive issues. The name might sound wholesome and nostalgic, But Schmidt's old-time bread is full of the same problematic ingredients we've seen in the other brands. The potassium bromate used in Schmidt's bread is classified as a possible carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC. This substance is banned in many countries but still legal in the US, where it's used to make dough more elastic and easier to work with. Schmidt's also contains high fructose corn syrup, which is tied to diabetes and obesity, bleached enriched flour that's stripped of nutrients, and soybean oil, a major contributor to inflammation. Their bread might be soft and easy to eat, but it's loaded with chemicals that are harming your body in ways you can't see. Arnold whole wheat bread claims to be full of nutritious whole grains. But when you dig into the ingredient list, you'll see that it's a reconstituted fraud. Arnold bread separates the wheat kernel into its components, bran germ and endosperm, and then adds some of the bran and germ back in after processing. This isn't the same as real whole wheat bread, which uses the entire kernel without separating it. To make matters worse, Arnold's bread also contains potassium bromate, added sugar, and soybean oil. Even though it's marketed as whole grain, it's really just refined white bread with some added bran for show. You're not getting the full nutritional benefits that true whole wheat offers. You might think you're getting a bargain with Walmart's great value bread, but at 50 cents a loaf, you're really just buying chemically laden bread made with low-quality ingredients. This bread uses rejected wheat, which is cheaper but full of contaminants. The flour is bleached with chlorine and enriched with synthetic vitamins, which your body can't absorb as effectively as real nutrients. Great value bread contains modified wheat starch, which is chemically altered and can cause digestive problems, bloating, and gas. It's also full of preservatives, like calcium propionate, which keeps the bread soft for weeks but makes it biologically dead. Real bread molds within a few days because it's alive. This bread doesn't. Kroger's private label bread is cheap, but it's cheap for a reason. Like Walmart's great value, Kroger bread uses cheap, low-quality wheat that's bleached and stripped of nutrients. It's then packed with preservatives and chemicals to keep it fresh for longer than any real bread should. This bread also contains added sugars and soybean oil, making it a blood sugar nightmare. While it may save you a few bucks, it's not worth the long-term effects on your health. For those watching their blood pressure or trying to lose weight, Kroger bread is a total no-go. You might be thinking, but wait, didn't I already mention Wonder Bread? Yes, and for good reason. Hostess's Wonder Bread continues to be sold under a different name but contains the same harmful chemicals: azodicarbonamide and calcium propionate. These chemicals are still being used in the production of bread, even though they have been banned in other countries for their toxic effects. Wait, what? Dave's Killer Bread made the list as a good choice because they actually care about organic grains, transparent sourcing, and high-quality bread. No chemicals, no shortcuts. Just pure, organic, whole grains. If you're looking for a loaf you can trust, Dave's is the way to go. Another great alternative is Ezekiel 4-9, which uses sprouted grains and ancient methods to make bread. No flour at all, just whole grains that are easier to digest and packed with nutrients. It's made using a biblical recipe that's been nourishing humans for thousands of years. Another good choice for bread lovers who want quality over chemicals, King Arthur Flour offers a variety of bread options that are certified organic, with no artificial preservatives or bleached flour. They believe in transparency and use the finest ingredients that you can actually trust. Your takeaway before you grab that loaf of bread: read the label. If you see potassium, bromate, high fructose corn syrup, sodium, or preservatives, you're probably buying a loaf that's more about profit than your health. Look for brands that use real ingredients and are transparent about their sourcing. Want more updates on what's actually safe to eat? Hit subscribe so you never miss an investigation like this.